evening.
And welcome to this week's Let's Talk Trek, which is brought to you by our good friends at Thatcher's, who have been friends. Yes, they've been friends with me today since about 12 o'clock. Our special guest this week to my...
Right.
Which way's the beach? Hang on,
You're right.
I've been on the road
Stage
machine.
left.
Hang on. Which way's the beach? The beach is that way. Is Carl. Carl, you're looking well, mate.
I'm looking hot.
You're looking
That's what I'm looking.
like a northerner in Benidorm. I can't pretend you don't. Yeah.
There's probably no better way to describe it.
And below me, uncharacteristically, is the cravat-wearing James Dillon, who comes to us looking armed and ready for business with his selective group of expensive liqueurs behind him there. Is that even Angster's bitters you have there?
No, that's a bottle of Aperol that you see there.
Goodness. So there we are.
A mixture of bitters up there somewhere. That's the Booze Reviews for You shelf, which has undergone some review this weekend.
Which is sponsored by our good friends at Thatcher's. So,
James, you're the legal type. Will we actually get into trouble for saying things like that?
No.
If I'm consuming part of you in my mouth, you're a good friend. That's the given. Yes, hellos. Right. So, Victoria, fantastic. Goodness me. Megan. Hello, Meg. Val. Hello, Val. Auntie Val. Christoph.
Val.
Hey, buddy.
Val.
How you doing?
Val.
Nadim, how you doing, buddy?
Hello.
Fake Carl. Services this week. Nice to see you anyway. Virgil de Santos. Hey, buddy. It's been a long time since we've done it. I think we probably should do because this gentleman on the show before. So if you've not seen the show before, if you could please say hello, where you're from, and tell us who your favourite Star Trek character is, and who your favourite episode rather than just your favourite episode, favourite character. Please come and tell us. One of the things we do genuinely love the most about this show is its international appeal. People that come and say hello. I think you're our first chap who's come to say to us from the Philippines, Virgil. So, g'day, mate, and it's absolutely fantastic to have you here. Yvonne, I think Yvonne, possibly you might be a new person on the show as well. So it's fantastic to see you. Please tell us where you're from. Melanie, I think you're a new one as well. It's fantastic to see you. Yeah, there's a lot of new viewers. So
definitely.
A lot of people, if you could...
I can see 21 people watching this. Who are you?
It'd be lovely if you could say where you're from and favourite episodes and favourite characters. It's always an absolute pleasure to find out. This is one of the things, because I'm of an age where the internet was kind of new, where it's just amazing you can reach out to people across the globe. And I think it's for the Star Trek community especially, I think it's fantastic that you can do that. So fantastic to have you all here.
We're getting people in from all over the show this evening. It's great stuff.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
So, luckily, we've got an action-packed show for everyone with lots of content pre-prepared to talk about. I mean, the difficulty we had on the show when we first started doing it during lockdown was that there wasn't a lot of Star Trek to talk about. So we came up with a lot of features and a lot of silly stuff, really, that was kind of vaguely Trek-related and more designed to make people laugh. And it turns out that was more popular than the actual Star Trek we talked about. But we're trying to get back to talking more about Star Trek because now Star Trek's back on. And I've got to, if you're new to the show, by the way, we count Orville as Star Trek. So please, guys, where are we on this season's Orville? Who's up to what episode? How are we doing?
Oh, I've not had a chance to start it yet.
James,
I
how are you doing?
the end of season 2 so I could get back up to speed with what was happening so I can watch season 3 afresh.
As always, we're up to date in the minute with the latest Star Trek news. So this season of Orville has been, quite frankly, astounding. I would say I've probably enjoyed it more than Strange New Worlds, and I've really enjoyed Strange New Worlds. This season of the Orville has been Star Trek of its highest caliber, and one thing we try not to do on this show is spoilers. So, as you've not seen any of it, I suppose all I can say is it's really good. It's definitely a bit darker than the previous two seasons. They've gone a bit more. They've rebranded it. They call it Orville New Horizons now. They should have called it Orville Noir because it has gone a bit, a bit more serious, a little bit less joking. But you'll be pleased to know, and this isn't a massive spoiler, Ted Danson is still in it. So,
hooray! What about Victor Garber? Is he still in it?
Yes, he's still in it. Yes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a fantastic watch. Incredibly, I can't believe they still haven't confirmed if they've been renewed for a season 3, which to me is an utter no-brainer. But
well, I think they need a new network, don't they, Richard? They've said that is it Hulu or someone they're with at the moment don't want them, but Disney has made overtures towards them.
Yeah, well, Hulu stuff is on Disney, so it's more complicated than I would attempt to explain after spending the afternoon with our good friends here at Thatcher's Hayes. So where to watch it in the United Kingdom? You can watch it on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
In the United States of America, yes, you're right. You can watch it on something called Hulu. So Orville is okay, but it's not. You're right, because it's a lot better than some of the Star Trek we've been shoveled up the last couple of years. So I would agree with that, Nadim. Favorite characters, Picard? Correct.
Well done, Virgil.
Well done, Virgil. Favorite episode, TNG? Oh,
that's not a bad shout.
That's a good episode.
We've even done a watch along of that one, gents.
We have. I mean, he's wrong, but that's a flipping good shout. But
it's a good effort.
Really, really good episode. Yeah, fantastic. Why do so many people attack old fans if they aren't 100% behind new Trek? I grew up always having opinions on all parts of Trek. Well, I think Edward, it's a little bit sister. So there's always going to be this thing like if you're older, you think old Star Trek's better than the new Star Trek, and younger people will always say, "Oh, it's because you're old and you don't get modern things," and older people say, "Well, because you can't make television properly anymore." And I think you've hit the nail on the head there by saying, "Do you know what? Yeah, you have an opinion." Yeah. People will disagree with you and people will agree with you. What I like to think as a Star Trek community is that regardless of your opinion, we can all talk about it in a nice way and get on anyway. That's the point of Star Trek. So, yeah.
Sparks conversation.
Yeah.
Yes,
absolutely.
I think it's endemic of all things nowadays that having an opinion is no longer allowed if it's not a fashionable one.
Exactly, which is where I think in the Star Trek community that this is a safe space for you to actually have an opinion if you want to come and say to us for any reason at all that you don't like any particular season or something of Star Trek, we'll have a conversation about it rather than just cancel you and not have a conversation about it. So yeah, that's the Star Trek way as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. And if you disagree with me, you're wrong and you can just go and watch a different show. So yeah, we'll cancel you and we'll show you comments.
What is it Pike said in the latest season? Something along the lines of diplomacy, conversation, these are the tools to build a lasting peace.
They are. I mean, never in the history of ever have anyone trying to persuade you that you're wrong, do you start the conversation by saying you're wrong. You know, that's not.
We only do that with people's character and episode choices.
Yeah. It goes without saying that I'm right. But yeah, you're absolutely right there. So that was a lovely. Even when polite, I tend to get attacked. I do know what you're saying, Edward. I think certainly from when I've been to conventions and talked to people who haven't necessarily agreed with my opinions on modern Star Trek, I wouldn't say they attacked me, but I don't think, and this is not being rude about their age or anything like that, I just don't think they're quite as skilled at putting their point of view across without being a little bit offensive. So, turn the other cheek a little bit, listen to their reasons. If they refuse to listen to you, though, then yeah, just go and find me in the bar.
Well, You simply say this. I could agree with you, but then we'd both be wrong.
Exactly. Yeah. Spock. Do you know what? If you're taken into all the series of Star Trek as a collective, I think it has to be Spock. I think he has to be, because he's so well represented throughout all the film franchises, the different incarnations. I think he's consistently the best character. I really think he is.
See, I've always found it difficult to understand people's fascination with Spock, because I think Spock is intended sort of as a foil, in that he's there to reflect the humanity and the humor of other characters. So in the classic trio of Kirk, Spock, and McCoy, Spock as the alien, the outsider, highlighted the best qualities of the human characters. What do you say to that, gentlemen?
Would you like a sociological?
I'm busy running through the comments, making sure we don't miss anything relevant.
From a sociological perspective, I should say, well, that was exactly why Spock was there, wasn't he? He was there for humanity to reflect itself in, to show us how we could not only be better, but also appreciate why we were better than Vulcans in so many ways, because we could experience those things. Don't be ashamed of where you're from, or what you are. I think.
Yes, what I say is that he was a mirror for the other characters. He didn't have a huge amount to him of himself.
Well, that's why they had to have data for TNG, because they knew how well that worked. Yeah,
and then Odo on DS9, it carries on.
Yeah, and then Michael Burnham, who was basically a robot in Discovery. To be fair, she could cry, but.
Yes, rude if you are late. How rude.
A whispering, crying robot. It's like a robot you would have sent back. It's like, because when you get to my age, because I play in a band and I play, so my hearing's not so good. So on my surround sound system, I always have to turn up the enhanced speech dialogue like loads to hear just normal stuff, even like kids on TV, whatever. I can't hear a damn thing. So when Discovery's on, literally not a word. I can't hear it down. I would send that right back and say, could you please make an old man version of this and send it back to me?
You can't hear it without waking the neighbours because you've turned the volume up that loud.
Not a bloody word, sorry.
They're whispering away, and then suddenly it goes to a scene where there's a battle and they warp away, and that's it. The wall falls in. Yeah.
Exactly that. Yeah.
Judith, if we're seeing you possibly next weekend, then this scene is something we may recreate.
Scotty drinking that alien under the table is.
Yeah, I think we'd do a rather good impression of Scotty, to be fair.
Oh, hang on. It is green.
It is. Look, it's green. I have to say, I think if you take Melanie, Jean Delancey and Patrick Stewart, and if you take their characters as a whole, I think they're the best. Bromance, foil, nemesis, frenemies, is that? I don't know. Frenemies?
Frenemies, isn't it? I think
best,
frenemies.
Whatever. I think they're the best that's ever happened in the Star Trek universe. They top Archer and Shran and all that. They're just the original power couple for me. Oh, they're fantastic together. Absolutely amazing. Outsiders. Always felt warm and fuzzy. If it was made included in the queue. I'm not entirely certain I understand what you're referring to there. I've got to be honest.
I think maybe our conversation about Spock.
Yes.
Oh, so the aliens. So how they incorporate the aliens. Yeah, absolutely. It shows you the right way that you incorporate other cultures into your own society. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And let's face it, gentlemen of
the undiscovered country, where the daughter of the murdered David Warner character, what was his name? Says, the Federation is only a Homo sapiens only club. Not entirely true. They just kept the Klingons out.
Well, yeah.
Well, in that film, the Emperor wasn't human. Sorry, Emperor, isn't that the right word? Chancellor. President. The President of Earth wasn't human, was he? So.
No,
No,
Judas,
well,
I think you
they
seem
were
to have. I think Judas seemed to have struggled here with the concept of choosing one.
Scotty Q, Voyager's Doctor, 7 of 9. I think she's actually listing the order in which she would like to sleep with them.
Ah, now that makes sense.
I think, yeah. So, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fair enough. My mistake. My apologies.
I'm glad we cleared that up for you, Carl. Judith,
you can tell it's too long since I've been on the show. I'm out of practice.
I really love all the characters because they bring so much diversity. Yeah, that's it's making sure that and it's whether this was the intent. Of course, Gene Roddenberry couldn't have known the fan base it would have, but certainly it's reflected when you go to the conventions. The diversity and the fact that we were in this was one in Birmingham. And I'm not sure you were there or not, Carl. I know James was, and I was drunk. But we were chatting to a chap. James is nodding; he doesn't even know. He's just like, "Yes, that sounds plausible."
Birmingham, Richard drunk, convention tend to go well together.
And there was a chappie there who was his first convention, and round the table was myself, and I work in IT. There was James, who was a lawyer, Dan, who's a DJ. There was another chap there who was some sort of rocket fuel scientist, another guy who was a barman, and we're sat at the table. We were all absolutely equals. There was no kind of. Was
that the chap from the European Space Agency?
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, I think I was there. Yeah.
Yeah. You know. Yeah. So Carl's there, and he manages.
I must have been the barman to which you referred.
No, you're a bar manager, but there was a barman there. I believe there was a woman who possibly, I suspect she was a prostitute because she was interested in me. But we were all at the table, and there was absolutely there was no cultural stigma. There was none whatsoever at the table because we were all there talking about Star Trek. You know,
this was the weekend, Carl, where we made the film of you unable to get out of the revolving door. Do you remember?
Yes, I do. That was very funny. Trapped in my my red shirt.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I think the hotel receptionists were really quite confused. I think we did a couple of skits that evening, if I recall.
We've managed to confuse a lot of the first one. James and I went to at Birmingham. We stayed in Holiday Inn. Was it down the road?
That's right. Yes.
We utterly baffled the hotel staff there. That was just that was brilliant.
We had the cardboard stand-up of Will.
We had
Riker.
cardboard Riker.
Had him doing photo shoots all over the place.
We had him behind the bar, didn't we? It was marvelous.
Behind the reception desk, in the pool.
I've got a video somewhere of Richard and Riker on a booking Bronco, I believe.
I still have no memory of that event. I'm not entirely convinced it happened.
I shall try and find the evidence.
I'm not entirely convinced that actually happened. Who would let me loose on a bucking Bronco at a Star Trek convention with a cutout cardboard Riker? That would just be asking for trouble.
Well, I'm able to give a witness statement.
There are so many of them. That's the reason I never answered the question. Mars O'Brien, vastly underrated for a long time. In terms of the character, I think he was too much, let's do this with him, let's do that with him, let's do this with him. In terms of the actor, probably the most underrated in the franchise. I think he's him, and it's like him.
Lower Decks appreciated him.
Did they?
Certainly did.
He got a statue and everything.
Yeah, he was.
Richard, in the episode, they said, here's the statue of the most important person in Starfleet history, and it was Chief O'Brien.
Yeah.
I've given up on Lower Decks, I've got to be honest with you. I'll probably catch up with it at some point. But I've got mildew in my bathroom that needs attending.
If both of our viewers have never seen it, there's a fantastic Facebook page called The Same Photo of Chief O'Brien Every Day.
Yes.
And it's always worth checking in on that because the same comments appear every day by the same people, including the same comments on the same comments every day. My favourite.
Edward,
not enough suffering in this picture. Hopefully more tomorrow.
Edward writes, how do I get my 11-stroke 12-year-old grandsons to give Old Trek a chance? They'll watch Prodigy. That's about as far as they'll go. Okay, so what are the things, and I'm just focusing on the age group of your grandsons there, Edward. What are the things of the original series, and I presume that's what you're referring to when you say Old Trek. That must be what you're referring to. The original series had very short skirts, and your grandsons are just about to suddenly appreciate these very short skirts. So I don't think you're going to have any problems there, Edwards. The problem will resolve itself. I'm fairly confident, okay?
There's an easier solution, actually, Edward, and that's just this, to say to them, well, you can have today's Wi-Fi password once you've watched this. It's simple. That's how you get any teenagers to do anything now, I think.
I'm desperately searching my several hard drives trying to find this Bucking Bronco video. I've got it somewhere.
It doesn't exist.
What are you looking for that, Carl? Can we do booze reviews for you?
Yes, why not? Let me find the appropriate button for that.
Yes, this evening's booze review for you is brought to you by our friends at Thatcher's Haze. Simply pour and drink. Delicious.
Oh, I thought we were going to down. We're not going to down it?
No, it's too delicious just to down it.
It is rather good. I've tried the various incarnations. They do the Thatcher's Gold, the Toffee Apple Special Edition, but nothing beats the good old cloudy proper Thatcher's.
I do like the blood orange one though as a special treat.
Again, it's nice as a diversion, but for your everyday drinking, your everyday lunchtime drinking, you can't beat a bit of Thatcher's Haze. It really is. It's a delicious cider from the can. It's often difficult to find a good cider from the can, but the Thatcher's Haze does it.
There we have it. Do we have the Bucking Bronco video?
I'm afraid not. I'm really struggling to find it. I will dig it out, though, I promise.
Yeah, doesn't exist. Back to the comments. Where are we? So, Estefan was crazy addicted to the original series in that age. I mean, well, excellent. Melanie, you look like you're only about 12 years old, so you're crazy addicted now, I would say.
Such a smooth talker, isn't he?
Rogue earbud. I say it how I see it. I've probably missed something there. So I was watching Voyager's episode Fear earlier. So Voyager's fantastic. I really do enjoy Voyager. There are so many good episodes, and there are so many bad ones, and it provides,
doesn't it?
Well, it provides what I do think is the most important thing, and why a lot of people dislike the character Neelix, and why I think Neelix is brilliant, is because it's full of contrasts. You know, Neelix is an annoying twerp some weeks. The next week he's got PTSD, and people forget just how good an actor Ethan Phillips, I think, really is to pull that off. He did pull it off well. And he reflects the series because there's some episodes that are utter gash, and then there's others that are superb. So, always love me a bit of Voyager. Fantastic. Well,
how about a collectible?
Yeah, go on then. Let's. Hang on, I think we've got an intro for that as well, haven't we?
Well, yes. Have I got something special for you this week, Carl?
Ooh, I'm so excited.
Here we have Look, the TNG money
Wow.
box. And there's a hatch in the bottom through which you're supposed to be able to get the money out, but I can't. So I've no idea how much I've saved in there.
Well, the big question would be is when you put that money in there, is it sort of like around the era that the money box itself was made, which I believe is around 94?
Yeah, that's probably about right. Probably not going to be very expensive money, given that I was a student then. But yeah, now obviously these had. Let's see if I get the angle right. There we go. There's a button there that you can press and light up various features here on the screen. But they don't work on this one at the moment. It needs a bit of a service. What do you think to this, Carl? Lovely piece. Looks very good on the desk.
I love it. I'd love to have one myself. And I understand they will have appreciated greatly in value. If you wouldn't mind letting our viewer know how much you originally purchased the item for.
Gosh, I think it was about 20 quid in the mid-90s.
Yeah. So that has easily quadrupled in value, if not slightly more.
Yes. No.
So in a monetary value that we can understand, Carl, roughly how many John Barrowmans is that now worth?
You've got to say probably 115, 120 Barrowmans.
120 Barrowmans.
Picture of him on the screen.
No, you don't want to depreciate it, James. It needs to remain in good condition.
Okay. I was going to say, actually, now I've witnessed it, just for scale, could you hold it up a bit closer to your head again? Yeah. So, what if...
Here's something that anyone can appreciate for scale.
A banana. Oh. Here's your scale banana.
I'm afraid I don't have a banana in this room. Sorry. I'm not Carl.
What if, James...
Well, unfortunately, I'm also bananaless this evening. I can't even hold one up to get a rough. Yeah. Very unprepared this evening.
What if I was able to possibly replace the plastic LED screen there with a actual touch screen and take out the coin collection reservoir and put in our Raspberry Pi in there and actually turn it into a serviceable second monitor for your PC that you can swivel around and use as a touch screen? Would that interest you, laddie?
I think you're introducing a huge dilemma into James's life there. As cool as he would love to have something like that on his desk, he's also thinking, it won't be the original if I do that.
But the original doesn't work.
Do you have the box for it still?
No, I'm afraid it's not mint in box.
Oh, in that case, rip the bloody thing apart. Make it cool. Yeah, make it cool. Rip the bloody thing apart.
A working desktop touchscreen display for you.
So, to be honest, we could get someone to 3D print one of these rather than destroy.
Guess what you're getting for Christmas, James?
You promised me an Orion slave girl.
I had to send her back. She was broken. Oh, by the way, if you're watching, please, would really appreciate it if in the comments you'd give us a thumbs up, the heart emoji, the smiley emoji, or the other emoji. We'd really like it. Please give us an emoji that's positive for the stream. It helps us with like our friends at Thatcher's Hayes to keep sending us more of these.
If only they did send us some of those.
Well, in terms of Star Trek news, I forgot to upload the flipping trailer. James, waffle for a bit.
Star Trek news. What caught my eye, if there is any Star Trek news, is that LeVar Burton was quoted as saying that he'd been on set with all the TNG cast for Picard season 3. And all of us are really hoping what we're really going to see is TNG season 8. But he made plain that they did film on a replica of the Enterprise D bridge, so we're going to see that again. So that's now set in stone. I think it's been suggested we might see the Enterprise F So the E may have come to the end of its life. We don't know what's happened to that. It could be one of these jaunts through history, for all we know.
I found the file I want, Carl. It says that it's too big. So if I
Do it
share
as a screen share.
will it play the audio as well?
Um,
Because the audio is the best bit. This is some of my best work.
I'm not 100% sure it should do if you share it as a video file, yeah.
Okay, right. Bear with me. So, exciting news in the world of Star Trek conventions. Destination Star Trek London, sadly, has been cancelled, which is a terrible shame for everyone. But luckily, brand new. There is an alternative, yeah.
Ah, there you are. Welcome to Starbase Atlantis. Come with me. Go on through here to the bar area. So this space here serves both as our bar and as our transporter room. We may have that lit. We'll see how we can do in October. Aldebaran and whiskey, please, barman. Ah, refreshing. I needed that. Now, come with me. This is our principal venue, so come on in. As you will see, we have this nice big space here away from anyone else. Lots of seating and tables and so forth down here, plenty of room for everyone. But if there isn't space down here for everyone who turns up, we do have another room upstairs that you can fit probably 50, 60 people in. And if that is still not enough, there's a bar that you can fit perhaps another 200 people in. But they don't want to see any of that, because what you're here for is this. And this is, of course, the Rikers Beard Bridge. Some of you may have seen it at conventions or out and about or just online, but this is going to be here for the whole weekend, and you can come and have your photo taken on it, play around. No charges whatsoever, it's on us, we just want you to enjoy it. So, what's going to be happening? Well, firstly, when is it?
The 1st of October.
But get back to your duty station, Lieutenant.
The 1st of October.
Saturday. We'll be here most of the day, but certainly all evening. Keep your eye on our page for further details. We're hoping to have things like a quiz. We're hoping to have perhaps a costume competition if enough people turn up wearing costumes. And please, please do, because it makes it much more fun. Obviously, we just want to have a few drinks and share a meal with people. There's food and drink available all day. It's plenty of that available. Our friend Gary O'Brien, who is the producer and director of fan film The Holy Core, in which part of our set did feature. So please do come.
The 1st of October.
The Oak Hotel, Ramsgate. We'll see you here. Make it so.
The 1st of October.
Tell me, how many lights do you see?
Oh, it's going to be carnage.
So there
That
we
was a
have it.
fantastic example of the film competition, though. That was brilliant. Me and Dan have got a good idea going for this.
So we've so yes, RikerCon 2 is happening, and it's everyone's saying we'd love you to, we'd love to be there. I want to be there. I want to be there. You can be there. It's free. You can be there. It's happening on the 1st of October, and it's happening.
1st of October.
It's happening in Ramsgate, which is a port. So if you're from abroad, you can hire charter a vessel which will take you to Ramsgate.
It has an airfield near it.
It's actually a royal port as well. You see, it's the royal port of Ramsgate. So it's a royal port you can go to.
It's a royal harbour. It's different.
Explain the difference for me, please, James.
No.
So yeah, it's happening.
It has England's largest Weatherspoons.
It has the largest Weatherspoons in the world, actually. World's largest Weatherspoons.
The largest Weatherspoons in the world.
Also, the only Weatherspoons you can go to where you can actually get an edible meal. It's surprisingly good. It's really quite nice. So yeah, it's
RikerCon 2 though is great, isn't it? Because it's just us with the venue that we've got. It's free for everyone to come in. We're just going to play around, have some fun. We haven't got any like paid guests or anything like that, because then we don't have to commit any money to it, do we?
Well, we are going to have some form of quiz.
There will be a quiz.
There will be the wet t-shirt competition.
The wet t-shirt competition, yeah.
There's a strong possibility I might be able to put together some sort of musical diversion for about 20 minutes or so. There's the short film competition.
There's Blankety Blank. Bring that back.
Well, there's the short film competition where there's going to be the Gutenberg Awards. We're going to have the Gutenberg for the best film, the Gutenberg for the best actor, and the Gutenberg for the best special effects. Are all going to be up for grabs, and they are all going to be judged by filmmaker, Star Trek filmmaker, fan filmmaker Gary O'Brien, who there'll be no bias there, just because he's a close personal friend of mine. We'll be judging it all completely impartially if he wants a free room at the hotel. And this is to say now, have to say to you, if you want to book at the hotel, which is the Royal Oak Hotel, they are offering a discounted rate. They're offering their standard. Well, they're offering any room for their standard room price. So if you phone up to book a room and you quote "Beam me up, Scotty," they will give you any room for a standard room price, and that's from the Friday through to the Sunday for the whole weekend. So if you do want to come down,
it's just the Oak Hotel, Richard. It's not the Royal Oak. You're making everything royal today.
Why shouldn't it be the Royal Oak?
Well, that's not its name.
It used to be.
This is now. Did they lose their royal?
I prefer things the way they used to be.
Oh, okay.
Discovery rubbish.
So yes, RikerCon, we're going to have an awful lot of fun. It's going to be great fun. Gary O'Brien, by the way, I don't know, has he sent you a link to his new film?
Oh, has he got a new one coming out? Star Trek one? Or?
Richard Stall, Agent of Nest. It's brilliant.
Ooh. Oh, that's the one with the 70s. Yes,
60s.
Yes, I have. Yeah,
the Avengers, a man in a suitcase, and all sorts of things like that.
He's got the camera shots perfect. Yes, they are very good.
Oh yes. What else can we do at RikerCon?
To be honest with you, we'll struggle to fit all that we've got planned in.
Okay, just drink.
We do have to leave time for drinking.
The last RikerCon we did, we were a bit concerned sort of how much content we'd have. And then we found that a lot of the content got in the way of the drinking and socializing. So it's kind of, there's got to be something other than just getting rat-arsed, but at the same time, not too much getting away from the getting rat-arsed. So it's, yeah. Conga line. You'll always find me right at the back of a conga line. Always. I'm there. I don't like to guide it, but I like to steer from the back.
Leads from the back, right? Okay.
Why do you want to go to Wetherspoons?
Well, because it's very cheap.
2 reasons. Number one, this particular Wetherspoons, the food is actually quite good. Number 2, you don't have to interact with a person. You can just sit down and order.
You have one of these. You can order on that.
Yeah.
Oh, I have your wish clip lined up, James.
Oh,
if you want to do another feature. We have a feature available.
I've not actually watched the clip. I just picked it earlier in a hurry. So this is roll VT.
Shall I do your? Yes, let's do this.
Yes, so this week's clip, dear viewer, represents what happens when you cross Hikaru Sulu with the Muppets. Roll VT.
I'm feeling a little nauseated. Is it because of the motion of the boat? No, it's because of the jokes on the show.
And then there were the practical jokes. Like the time they dressed up Leonard Nimoy's son as a little Vulcan boy and brought him onto the set. They have it on the blooper reel they'll be showing later this evening. Oh my. You've never seen the blooper reel? Oh, it's rich.
So we've been rammed by the Battlestar Galactica fantasy cruise ship. The captain's fallen overboard. We need you. Come on, everyone, to the lifeboat.
Finally, here's my chance to captain a real ship. Come, Beaker, to the bridge.
George! Hello, Beaker. Captain Kangaroo. I was just about to assume command of the ship.
Oh, well, I'm afraid that's not possible, George. You see, I'm the senior officer on this ship. You see, right now, I am Commodore of the Sector, Kangaroo.
Aye, Commodore.
Live long and prosper, George.
Mr. Beaker, set ego for Bruce.
Well, there we have that. That's,
That was the wish clip.
that's done, isn't it?
Sorry, everyone.
That'll teach you not to watch it and just send us a link.
Most of the wish clips do tend to be a bit of a random lucky dip. Like last week, did you see that croissant advert with Gates McFadden? Ooh la la.
No.
I am wondering if we should have a Gutenberg for the best wish clip, because for me, it's a toss-up between Ludlaw's frozen foods and Milwaukee Bus.
Milwaukee Bus.
The Milwaukee Bus was something else. I was not prepared for it.
Oh, that was incredible.
Oh, well, perhaps we should get together a best of reel for
Yeah.
and
Best
just have it in
of.
the upstairs bar for people to just go and have a look at.
Yeah. Just on a loop. Permanent loop.
But Ludlaw's frozen foods is, if you're watching and in any way you are inclined, look up William Shatner Ludlaw's frozen foods advert, and your mind will be blown.
Does he work here?
Does he work here? I always ride the bus in Milwaukee.
I'm Mr. Sulu. When I'm in
Their
Milwaukee.
prices are out of this world.
Yeah, I've got lots of the old wish clips here, but why is it every video I'm trying to find tonight I'm struggling with?
Well, the one of me riding a bucking bronco with my shirt off, clutching cardboard Riker doesn't exist. That's why.
Tell you, when I find it, you got to remember I've got admin rights over both of our Facebook pages. It's going up.
Oh, is that a die-cast Starbuck?
This, yes.
Was that free with the DVD?
Nice.
Where'd you get that from?
Oh, I can't remember. I think it came in a kit.
That's you built it yourself.
No, in a pack rather than a make-yourself kit.
That's
It's a nice little.
gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Look, it's
Seriously, James.
small.
I know it's small. I bet that's worth an absolute packet. If that's a metal one, that's worth a packet on
I
eBay.
don't think it is.
Honestly,
Look,
that's
this
worth
is the BBC effects from the 90s.
in excess of 500 Barrowmans. That is gorgeous.
I've got the Red Dwarf around here somewhere, but that's rubbish. It doesn't look anything like it used to. It's the stretchy out version.
All sorts
Look,
of
I've got the
things.
coolest of all the little ships here. Oh, actually, there is some Star Trek news that relates to this. Look, the shuttle pod. Because we know where there's a slightly bigger one. Yes, Eagle Moss. Stroke Hero Collector.
That's an Eagle Moss Starbug.
No, that's not from Eagle Moss, but this is. But Eagle Moss, as our viewer will know, has gone bankrupt, taking with it, amongst other things, the Build the Enterprise D project, which many people are in the middle of. But there is positive news that has come out from a chap called Ben Robinson, who worked for Eagle Moss and Hero Collector. He's now spoken out quite a lot on Twitter and says that there is motion to have a lot of the IP that was run by Eagle Moss and Hero Collector picked up by other companies, including the Build the Enterprise D project. So we'll be able to finish that. But there's no news as to how and when so far. But it's going to happen. So that's something. And also, it does mean that there'll be a chance for everyone else to own the Malon Freighter.
Thank the Lord for that.
I see your Malon Freighter is standard there, James.
Yeah, I don't have the special edition. If only there was a different version that
I've
we
got the special edition, but it is still in its original packaging. Could I take it out so everyone can have a good look at it?
Oh,
It's mint in black.
For all the Voyager
you'll
fans,
lose several hundred Barrowmans if you do that, Richard.
we've got several new viewers that seem to be really into their Voyager. So this is a special treat for all of you. Oh, shit. In all its glory. How does it go? It doesn't matter. It looks like a turd, whatever way you do it. There you go. The gold
Oof.
Malon Freighter.
It is a thing of beauty.
Do we have the special advert that Eagle Moss put out for the Gold Malon Freighter? Can we run that? Carl, have you got that one?
Oh, I'm not sure. Let me have a look. Don't think we do. I feel someone may have cleared out some of the video clips that we had uploaded in preparation. That may have been one of them.
Oh my God! How can you possibly clear out something like that?
Well, I didn't. Bear in mind, I've not been here for a long time.
I'm going to put that back in pride of place on the shelf there.
I'm struggling. Unless you know where the file is on your local drive, Richard, to share it, unfortunately not.
There's a YouTube thing, but I'm not sure YouTube plays with the sound.
It does if you share it as a Chrome tab.
Right. Okay.
So if you go on to share screen, and then you get options across the top of that box, one of which is Chrome tab.
James, waffle for a bit, and I'll see if I can make this happen.
Waffle. So, RikerCon 2, let's talk about that. Carl, you're coming, aren't you?
I sincerely hope so. I missed the last one. I'm currently sort of scrambling around trying to organise it, yes.
Excellent. Well, yes, we'll have the bridge down there again to play with, and there may be something else. Maybe.
Ooh. You have piqued my interest, sir.
I piqued your interest. We'll see if we can get them to put blue food colouring in your lager to make it into Andorian ale.
Oh, yeah. Sounds good. Either that or a bit of Bowls Blue.
Our friends from Thatcher's Haze may be coming down to give us free drinks.
I'm guessing there may also not be.
Oh, here we are. Here's the trailer.
Perfection begins with a dream. Irresistible desire. You demanded. You waited. They delivered. Something to exceed the expectation of millions.
That's beauty, isn't it? Suddenly have this urge for a meatball baguette.
Yeah. Subway meatball marinara. On Italian herb and cheese.
Malon Cloak Activate Edition. And more. The Gold Edition.
Proctor, there's no salad bar.
Oh,
Some of my
I love
best
your
work.
story. Love your story from one of the conventions that I unfortunately missed, where you actually really confused the guy from Eagle Moss with that.
So we approached the vendors table at the convention at Eagle Moss with this and asked for evaluation. And he looked at it and he straight faced it, to be fair, the guy from Eagle Moss, and was like, I've not seen anything like that before. It's like, you work for Eagle Moss, how can you not know of this special gold edition? Is it worth a lot? And he's like, and he just walked away, didn't he? And pretended that it wasn't happening.
No, he claimed that they don't make it anymore.
Yeah, he said they don't make it anymore, so he didn't know what it was. So we put a price tag on it of about £500 and just left it on the table. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we roll.
I mean, this particular gold mail-on freighter has never been removed from its original packaging. See?
Until just then.
No, never.
There to be won at RikerCon. How is it our fault? We've enhanced the brand on multiple occasions. Come on.
Yeah, the odd thing is they didn't rush the gold mail-on freighter into production, wasn't it?
No. I think
No,
they'd
I
have
had to
found a
make
lot
my-
of demand for it if they had.
Although not from us, because we already have one.
We
Although,
had
to be
the
fair, I've
only
only
one.
got the standard edition.
I've got to be honest with you. I'm fairly certain that Alan Window actually owns it. I'm not sure. He may have won it in a competition.
No, he won the Barrowman DVD, didn't he?
Oh, do you know what?
Right.
I may have even seen that while I was moving my study around the other day. I'll
Does it
happily.
say property of Alan Window on the back? Because I think we wrote that on it, didn't we?
Mm.
To make sure we knew whose it was, so there was no arguments.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't want to accidentally give it to someone else.
No, it's never been removed from its
No.
original packaging.
Yeah,
Never,
it's
not
all in
once.
its original packaging.
There to be won. It'll be there at RikerCon. We never removed from its original packaging. Gold mail-on freighter.
Oh yeah, well actually
One
let's
of
have
a
a
kind.
competition. If you are coming to RikerCon, do please bring your favourite prop or collectible or something, and we'll have a competition to see which is both the most valuable and the most cool.
And then the mail-on freighter will win.
Well, apart from the mail-on freighter, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, it's not fair to put people up against that, really, is it? You know, I mean, I don't think I've got anything that could compete with that, to be fair.
An Evening with Neelix, that would be a good DVD, wouldn't it?
Do you think that they
I'd
got
rather watch
together
Barrowman.
in Kurtzman? That got together in the Voyager staff briefing room. They said, we've got these characters called a Mailon, and we need to design a really cool starship for them. But they're kind of like binmen, so we need to make it look like a dried up cat turd. So, and thus the Mailon freighter was born. Do you think that's how it happened? It must have been. God, I don't know where my cat is.
My children keep destroying my waving cats.
You're joking, aren't you, Mark? I've not got a big enough car to get this collection down anywhere.
Well, no, the Antiques Roadshow, Carl, doesn't turn up with the antiques. They turn up and people bring the antiques to them.
Yeah, but that would put me under pressure to actually know what the hell I'm talking about. When we're on the show, I can research it for 10 minutes before we go live and make it sound really clever.
Your Quark's Guide to Collectibles.
Oh,
I think a little
need two other
antique.
6 foot plus cosplayers for my melon.
Oh, yes, Alan was going to get a Zorb ball, I think. So he needs just 2 other people with Zorb balls and some kind of roof, and he has a Mailon freighter.
To be fair, Alan's cosplays are always very, very good. If anyone
always
could pull off a
outstanding.
cosplay mail on freighter, it's Alan.
Well, we're running short on time here, chaps. We've only got about 4 minutes left to speak about
crikey.
Star Trek.
We're
So
gonna speak
I'm
about
going to use
yeah.
I'm going to use my minute of those 4 minutes to say, make sure you watch this season's Orville, please, so they make another season because it's been outstanding. It really is absolute quality. It's been really good.
Yes, I think most people who didn't fly over to the States specifically to watch every episode as it was released of Strange New Worlds may now have seen the end. So hopefully perhaps we can talk about that next week because it was superb.
It was most enjoyable.
It feels like, doesn't it, we've got Star Trek in production that we can all actually enjoy again.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, it's a different seasons have a bit of something for everyone, or some seasons for no one. But yeah, Strange New Worlds does seem to have attracted most people's attention in a good way.
Because it is excellent.
Yes,
it is very good, superb. Well, I think that probably on that bombshell, I think that probably wraps up this week's Let's Talk Trek. Apologies for your usual host, Dan. I hope we've managed to fill his void. Suitably.
One way to put it.
Well, yeah. So there will be no salad bar, Proctor. Okay. But as always, thanks everyone for tuning in and watching the show. We really do appreciate it. It was lovely to see you all, especially all the new people.
Lots of new people this evening
who've come in to watch the show. Really appreciate that. Please do tune in next week. It's fantastic. And we do this, well, if you've never watched the show before, we've been doing this for a while now. We started it first ever lockdown to stay in touch.
It's got to be like 2 years that we've been doing this now.
We've been doing it ever since. And the reason we've kept doing it is because of the love and support of you people who tune in every week to watch that. Thank you so much.
Both of you.
Yeah. And every now and then when you tune in, there's even 4 of us.
And when we do have a full cohort, it's called an
Enterprise.
Yes, an enterprise of Let's Talk Trekkers. But
Absolutely.
look, it's 1 minute to 10. Let's go away.
Okay, let's do that.
What's a full cohort of Trekkie girls called?
Oh,
it's
on that
gag.
bombshell.
A gag.
Right. And on that
Shall I